Well, looking at the market, like I said, in positive territory in today's trading session, but down yesterday. Talk us through some of the market movers in today's session.
A very good afternoon to you, Mashudu. Yes, the market today was back on positive territory. Big movers were actually Safaricom, which was the day's largest mover, slightly over 3%. And the stock continues to aim towards that 5 shilling mark. Today closing and touching a high of 485, but actually on the average close at 475. Other movers, unfortunately, on the downside is what seemed to have been the prevailing issue. That was a Standard Group, sorry, and another one was a National Bank, which also, like you mentioned, just had some results come out this afternoon. But in all, the market looking pretty positive, and we hope it stays that way.
Well, market looking pretty positive. Let's look at Centum. It released H1 results in last week's trading session. We know that there was an investor presentation today. What are your thoughts of that investor presentation? What did they say about their strategy going forward?
Oh yes, Centum this morning did have an investor briefing. Late last week, we did see the results come out. That was for the first half of the year. And really at this particular meeting, it was pretty much to reiterate the company's strategy moving forward. That is through its 3 divisions and the big plans it has, especially on the real estate side, where there's been a lot of talk about what exactly they are doing in the Two Rivers project, which is in Nairobi, and down in Kampala also. They have huge real estate projects coming up, and they've really generated a lot of investor appetite. So really this particular meeting was to try and thrash out all the issues that investors have been having over the company's performance. Another key issue was the company's debt, which has increased substantially, but the company actually made history in terms of doing quite a substantial private placement on the bond side of things. And much as it was a substantial debt, the company has a very high debt service coverage ratio of more than 10 times. So really today it was a platform for management to calm investor fears and really address a couple of other concerns. One of them was regarding the bottling companies, which in its portfolio. We had a court case come out a week or 2 ago that seemed to go against the company. But all in all, management was in a very good position to address and calm investor fears. And we are left with a stock that looks very, very beaten and has a very positive future looking forward. So in all, much as the stock closed at 12 shillings and 15 cents, I think it is really undersold at this point, and would rate it as a buy.
So you'd be buying that stock at this stage. Now, looking at the energy sector, continuing to receive a lot of interest from investors abroad. What do you make of the situation right now in Kenya? We've got Kenyan establishing portable geothermal stations.
Yes, a lot of investors really are rushing into Africa as a whole, and with a lot of private equity coming into Africa to look out for the new deals on the marketplace. Kenya and Nairobi actually seems to be the hub for the Eastern and Central Africa, and also for the northern side of Southern Africa, so to speak. So a lot of private equity money coming into the market, but much as there seems to be quite a number of articles in the news and a lot of hype generated about that, the reality on the ground is that the big funds are still not able to clench deals of the size that they would actually need. We had one of the big ones come out, which was Catalyst Principal Partners, come out with a huge fund of over $100 million. But to be honest, the deals of that size are very few and far between. So it really is a pretty small marketplace as far as the global investor is concerned. But they really have to, the global investor really needs to adopt and really appreciate the market complexities of these frontier markets as a whole. Jumping over to the energy side of things, we have LPG storage plants coming up. We have Kenyan also coming up to develop wellheads, which really would help address the huge supply gap as far as the electricity generation is concerned. And much as it's a short-term measure, it really is something that would bring out a lot of benefit for the individual consumer, for Kenya Power and Lighting, and really for the country's economy as a whole. So for now, it looks like KenGen would have quite a high aspect as far as capex is concerned. But all in all, looking forward, it is something where quite a good number of returns will be generated, and it will continue being a positive play as far as the energy sector is concerned.